Hello, welcome back. I wanted to do a deep dive into this mechanism and why I built it and the problems it's trying to solve. Um, and then hopefully get some feedback. That would be great. All right, let's talk about it. The first piece is going to be the top mount plate. So this plate has, I think this is an M6 or an M5 hole, and it's intended to accept a top cap bolt. So like the top cap bolt can go into here, and then this is going to get bolted up to a top tube or a stem. And the goal of this plate is to provide a mounting surface that is axis aligned to the top tube bolt, which in theory is in the center plane of the bicycle. And the top tube should also share this axis in theory. So this is actually where the whole design started. Right here at this M5 bolt, which is what I wanted to align my downstream top tube rivet nuts to. Okay, so that's the problem. So then I've created this like mounting mechanism, and so this, where these two plates join, is the center axis still. And so I've created this, let's see if I can actually flip it around. I've created this mechanism that slides on a rail so that when I bolt it up to the bike, I can adjust it any way I need, but maintain alignment. And then that arm is attached to the bottom alignment plate, or like, I don't know, the jig. I don't really have exact names for these things. And so this piece mates to this piece, which is axis aligned. And then in theory, this piece is axis aligned to the top tube bolt. And this one's got a more simple rotation. So like this is maybe 1 degree of freedom, and then this piece has 2 degrees of freedom relative to this piece. And this component has the bolt mounting holes for like a standard bottle cage mount. So this is going to be 64 millimeters apart. And these are a little bit smaller because it's intended to just mark with a Sharpie. And then attached to this piece is this like caliper arm. And this caliper arm is meant to let you adjust the final distance between these bolts and the actual like top tube itself. So you can undo these. Let me find this. I lost a part. All right, no worries. You can undo these bolts, and again, these are standard chainring bolts. And then you can adjust this arm. So let's see if I can get it. So I can adjust it a little bit more. There we go, and then that should be free. And so you can kind of you can adjust, you can line this up to your bag or like the thing you want to bolt onto your bike. And then, so like kind of line up the holes and then line up this arm with it so that you know that when you drill these holes that the part you want to mount is actually going to fit, which is very important. So then you just tighten this up. And then the final piece that I added was this kind of 3D printed piece to allow the individual to kind of twist in a spoke. So this is actually just a stainless steel spoke that I have. So this is constructed with like 3D printed parts, chainring bolts, and then a singular spare spoke that I kind of bent off. And the intent of this component, or like this portion of the mechanism, is to give you a reference for center, so you can kind of visually center this indicator on the top tube, and so you get the axis alignment here, but then once it's kind of on the top tube, it can still rotate in along that axis, and so you have to line it up just right. And this piece that is elongated lets you do that kind of quickly and easily. I think that pretty much covers like the purpose of each part. And then in terms of how I designed it, this is the second iteration of this mechanism, and it was designed with mostly flat components so that I might be able to take this design to flat like aluminum plate or steel plate and get it laser cut. And so I think the intent here is to get this part manufactured by Send Cut Send, or like manufacture as much of it as possible. And then I'd have like a proper mechanism that could stand the test of time. I think this is probably sufficient for most people, but when perhaps like say like a bike shop if a bike shop were to purchase this tool, I'm sure they would appreciate like a more durable, more robust tool made out of metal. And maybe I could also refine the design further over time. So that's the mechanism that I built, and the goal is to allow individuals or bike shops to quickly and easily add top tube bottle cage mounts to bike frames. All right, thanks for listening. Appreciate it. I'll talk to you later.